Oh my gosh, guys. First off, welcome back to the channel. But second of all, Spider Stage 24, soloing with Crypt King Graal, has been one of the most frustrating experiments that I've been trying to do for so long now. So a while back, I made a video. I've been making quite a few of these solo champion videos. I enjoy them. They're pretty efficient. If you're looking to level champions while getting good gear, it's an excellent idea. But besides all that, assuming you just want to build this champion, this guy has been the biggest headache to actually get to build, to do this consistently compared to any other champion that I've had. I've had to go in, change his mastery so many times. I've spent thousands and thousands of energy, probably thousands of gems resetting his mastery so many times. So guys, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. If you've seen how much I spent on this champion trying to do this, I think you would say it deserves both of those, a like and a sub. But with that said, I'm going to show you guys what I've done with my Crypt King Graal to get him as consistent as he is currently, which is one of the closest that I've seen to 100%. To be honest, I've watched several videos. I've seen some Reddit posts on this Crypt King Graal. 100% supposedly solo build for Spider Stage 24. I built to the exact same stats. I don't know if their account somehow was in the favor of Plarium, or my account maybe has fallen out of the favor of Plarium. Maybe the spider hates me. I don't know what the deal was, but when I was doing it, I would do like the first 20 runs, get a fail instantly, and then I left it on overnight. I'd wake up, and then the run was like 45 out of 50 or something crazy. Not necessarily that bad, but it was pretty significant, okay? Basically, if it loses 2 in a row, I had it shut off because I don't want to share runs with you guys, first off, that aren't consistent. I've done it in the past. I've built champions that are solo, and I've actually cleared all those off my channel. I want to make sure any champion you're building is going to be as consistent as possible, or at least you know how consistent it'll be, at least from my 100 runs. So, Crypt King Graal today will be exposed for his very consistent minute 22 seconds. We'll literally do it again, and it'll probably be a minute 22. So let's make sure we're in 144. Actually, let's turn it on unlimited FPS just for this showcase, guys. Hopefully it doesn't make me get all blurry and distorted, but I gotta say, the build actually took a pretty crazy turn. So with Crypt King Graal, what I used to do is I would run Cycle of Magic as well as Arcane Clarity, or Celerity. I forget how it's said, but either way, it doesn't matter. Basically, whenever a debuff expires, it gives him a 30% chance of boosting his turn meter by 10%. I've taken all that off. So this run really has no RNG except for when these daggone poisons land. This blew my mind, to be honest. These poisons, obviously they had a 3% chance of landing, but sometimes these spider are like a 3% chance on steroids because I'll be getting a lot of poisons landed on me and I have 350 plus resistance. Usually, I recommend building 315 resistance in most situations, but on Spider, I guess you have to build more. Honestly, I didn't know it was a scaling percent drop chance for them to actually place it, the more resistance you get, but maybe it is. I don't know exactly how it works out. You will notice whenever my Crypt King Graal attacks that he is getting a shield buff on him. That's because I have a blood shield accessory. I don't think you need that, but the gearing of this champion is not going to be easy whatsoever. So if you're a newer player, a mid-game player, this is not going to be something for you most likely, because to be quite honest, it took me quite a while to actually get this gearing done. So while Crypt King's doing his shenanigans, let me open up the consistency chart, okay? So this run right here, this first one up, this is what made me think, oh my goodness, I think I've hit the jackpot, because I've never seen a run from Crypt King Graal that was 100%. So 51 out of 51. I saw this before going to bed, and I was like, I cracked the code. I hit the jackpot. So I left RSL Helper on overnight. I was hoping to get up in the morning to see 0 fails, because every single time that I woke up, went in my office to check the runs, it'd be like 90 something percent. And I'm like, no, and it'd be stopped at like 50, and it would basically ruin the rest of my day. Maybe not that extreme, but hey, 51 out of 51. We're not going to stop it there though, because we need to run it to 100 just to get a better idea. So finished that run, turned it off, turned it back on overnight. You'll see total runtime, an hour and 22 minutes, but the average runtime was a minute 29 seconds, which is really good. So then after that, we went ahead and ran some more overnight. So you'll see here, actually, this is more. So, okay, so I actually, it's not actually 99 out of 101 plus the other one. It was actually a screenshot of the other one just in case it was to mess up overnight. So overall, these are the exact same runs. Average time, a minute 27. Total runtime, about 7 hours. So we did 99 out of 101. So it's a 98% consistency. Okay, I think you'll be surprised with the type of gear that I have. A lot of the builds that I've seen have his speed much higher, have his HP and defense quite a bit higher, have his resistance about the same, and that said they were 100%, but I wasn't able to get that whenever I would boost those stats up. because for a little while, I had him decked out in gear. I had him in my absolute best regeneration, absolute best immortal, the exact masteries that were recommended, and mine just wasn't having a lot of luck. Now, I do think with the accuracy, you could probably drop this just a little bit, though to be honest, I would be very careful about dropping any of your stats because like I said, this has been an absolute headache to try to get to be 100% consistent. It was a challenge. It definitely felt really good to actually see it at a point now where I'm comfortable with it. I mean, failing 2 in every 100 isn't really that big of a deal, right? I think it's a pretty comfortable point. Technically, if you boosted up the HP and defense, maybe you could even get it to be more consistent. We got a minute 18 there. That's actually a really fast time, to be honest. And it's very consistent because we don't have any of that RNG messing stuff up from those masteries like Arcane Celerity as well as Cycle of Magic. If you take these masteries, you got to be very mindful that you could get your turn meter boosted, get back around, and maybe do the burn 1 turn early or do something similar to that. More so, Cycle of Magic is what's going to be really RNG dependent. Arcane Celerity, maybe a little bit less so. Cycle of Magic will possibly mess the run up. It could make it a lot faster, but worse than that, it could make it slower, or even worse than that, make it fail. Because you could place a burn when there are all but maybe 2 spiderlings on the field and maybe not have your freeze ready for next turn. Crypt King Graal with, oh, it's another thing. It's no AI presets, no presets whatsoever. And he's very weird. So basically, he doesn't do his freeze unless all the spiders are under burn. Basically, he wants to make sure everybody gets frozen, but that could be an issue why the run's not 100% consistent as well. Because if he's missing some burns, he very well may decide, hey, I'm not going to freeze these spiders for whatever reason, and then just skip that turn. So let's check out the gear on his weapon. Honestly, could get better. This is not that great. We have a roll into attack. If we were 100% efficient, we would definitely have some more HP, some defense. Well, we can't have defense percent on a weapon, but more survivability stats, right? Resistance, maybe something like that, but not terrible. The helmet, we have some resistance. Resistance is something that I did not think I needed to go this high for. We have resistance, speed, HP. Honestly, we can glyph some more there. I'm definitely interested to see whenever I get it fully glyphed, everything fully done, if it improves the run. Everything's not maxed, but you do need to know that if you're going to do this, make sure you're putting glyphs on stuff. Those few extra points of HP percentage, resistance, whatever it may be, could be the difference between 96% and 98%. So I'm definitely very happy with the consistency of this run. We have 16 plus 2, the defense percent. We could have some flat HP there, I'm sure. HP percentage, definitely some improvements to be made on the gear. So to be honest, there are definitely some areas that it could be improved. This isn't like a crazy build. Like, it's my account could do it, so I think a lot of your accounts, if you're later game, in game, I think they could do it as well. The ring is nice. Triple roll in the HP percentage kind of makes up for what's on the top. We have the necklace, which is nothing super crazy. Back to that resistance thing. Very weird how much resist I actually needed. So we have some HPs. Definitely quite a bit of room left on a lot of these glyphs to improve. Some legendary pieces to upgrade to, but this is working so far. 69,000 HP, 3,900 defense, 256 speed. I think I did 251 speed, and I think it worked pretty well also. I think as long as you're 250 plus, you should be good. There is like a sweet spot. You guys can play around with it, but as long as you're like 250, probably to like 270. I don't know for sure, but maybe 260. Maybe if you can keep it to like 250 to 260, you should be good. Resistance is something that's very strange. Usually, I push for like 315, and it usually does fine. But for this run, 315 was getting poisons placed on me pretty frequently. So I pushed up to 350 and then 360, and it seemed to work out a lot better. Accuracy, 200 accuracy minimum. Though technically with this mastery right here, you could actually go, 184, I guess. So as long as you're 200 plus, that's perfect. I mean, there's gonna be plenty of spiderlings out there, so you will have the boost from that mastery. But as far as the masteries go, this is what I'm using. I have this in case for whatever reason they place poisons. Hopefully they don't continue to place them. So increase resistance by 10 for each debuff on this champion, stacks up to 30. Oppressor, you may be able to go without it. If you need the resistance, you may have to make your champion faster. Something to possibly try, but if you want a safe run, a safe, consistent run, do these masteries, do that exact build that I had over there, and you should be good to go. I'm not going to recommend anything else, because like I said, I tried builds that were significantly faster. I tried a build where I was doing like 280 speed, close to 80,000 HP, and then like 4,200 defense. Maybe not quite that high. Probably like 38, maybe like 4,000. Honestly, I don't even know. I tried a lot of different builds. I was not having much success with those. Definitely more gear demanding. Like I was having to use the optimizer to get my absolute best survivability stats, going 250 plus speed. It'd be consistent for a little while, and then all of a sudden, several losses. Could have just been RNG. Maybe those builds that I was following, actually were 100% consistent. Maybe for them they were. but for me, it was not. So maybe Plarium just decided, you know, getting tired of this solo video content, and we're going to make your Crypt King struggle in Spider Stage 24 solo farming. So right here, there are some situations where it looks like he gets low, but every time he does, he's come back with that freeze. So not having that Cycle of Magic or the Arcane Celerity lets me know, hey, even if it looks like things are getting bad, it's going to be the exact same skill rotation every single time. Whereas before, he could be doing maybe the burn that turn instead of the freeze. Because of how his abilities work, and he only uses the freeze if everything's burnt like this right here, then it can definitely mess up the overall run if Cycle of Magic is lowering the cooldown of your burn when it's time to use the freeze. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see another minute 18 run. Minute 17. Dang, that is a PR, baby. There we go. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed that video. That was a lot of work that went into that. I don't even care if this video went long because tons of hours for a 13-minute video. Guys, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to start working on a Tyrant build. Tyrant's build for solo Spider 24 farming. I think maybe using lifesteal gear. So I'm going to try that. Haven't had a whole lot of success with it. But here you go, guys. Enjoy your Crypt King Graal solo stage 24 Spider. 98% consistent over 100 runs. I'll probably run quite a bit over CVC to really flesh out the consistency, but I'm comfortable with this. I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video.